want to summarize last week and what you saw on your team? And
well, you know, the positive thing for me is I think we're making progress. You're starting to see some things that we're working on in practice more on a consistent basis. We're not there 100% yet, but you know, we're seeing some positive strides.
When you started the season with this group, is this about where you wanted to be, or do you think you might be a little ahead of things?
You know, you never really can tell. I mean, I can never project. Like, I could have never projected what would have happened last year. This year, similar, that we started off, you know, a little inconsistent, and then, you know, we've had some success here in the last few games, but you know, there's still a lot of work to be done. I mean, there's certain parts of our games. Special teams is still a concern. You know, we have to improve our power play. We need to get more depth in our penalty killing to where we have more than four forwards going. So there's certain parts of our game that will really need to be elevated in the second half, and I think special teams is a good starting point, and then just consistency in how we play.
Going into this weekend, what does Penn State do do you have to prepare differently for Penn State than you do against other teams, just because the nature of the way they play?
Yeah, I mean, they play, you know, they play full throttle going north. You know, they are a really good transition team, and, you know, everything's going to the net. I mean, they don't hesitate. It creates chaos because they shoot the puck from everywhere. And, you know, they also do a really good job, you know, off the rush, and they're good in the O-zone. I mean, they do a lot of things offensively that are very good. You know, the biggest thing for us is especially playing in their building is trying to just control the momentum of the game by not taking penalties, by not, you know, making blind turnovers that are going to lead to transition. Winning faceoffs is always important, and getting the lead, you know, is always an important factor to try to control momentum. But there's certainly going to be momentum changes in their building. I mean, it's one of the best environments in college hockey, of all college hockey. You know, it's right there rivaling North Dakota and Minnesota, some of the places that, you know, Yost Arena, that have raucous crowds. And it's, you know, I don't think players look at it as being intimidating. That, you know, I think it just the energy in the building, and it always makes it seem like there's more going on than there actually is, just because of the noise.
How much, when you're going through, you know, these, you know, kind of tough road series, and you get to play in those kind of environments, especially now in the Big Ten, how much do you feel like your guys kind of can translate that, you know, once they get later in the year and they're kind of playing some, like, you know, tournament where the atmosphere is obviously going to be kind of, you know, that kind of intensity that you see now throughout the year?
Well, that's the nice thing about playing in the Big Ten, is you're going to be playing in those type of environments quite a bit, and it's you know, it's important to be able to you know, calm your mind more than anything else, because, like I said earlier, is because of the noise in the crowd, it always appears that it's worse than it actually is, you know, and sometimes it causes your panic threshold to drop, you know, make mistakes that you may not make if you thought that you know, that it was just an empty arena. It's a different environment. So I think that, you know, last year we were so good at handling those kind of situations because we were a mature team, you know, older team, and this year we got some youth, but, you know, I was really impressed by the way our young guys played at Yost Arena. You know, I thought they handled that really well. And Penn State's probably even a little bit higher level than Yost in the crowd noise and just the overall energy in the building. So, you know, it'll be a challenge for us. I mean, the way they play is a challenge to begin with, and they have great offensive depth. They have four lines that can all score. And we have not played a team that has that kind of depth offensively. So, I mean, they're averaging over 5.5 goals a game. So you have to respect that. And, you know, I mean, they've just got great offensive depth, and we're going to have to match it.
How much do you kind of, you know, take that early season success when you're playing, you know, several series against top 5, top 10 opponents? How much can you kind of take from those early experiences that this team has, you know, kind of gotten through those and kind of translate that to a, you know, a road environment against another team that's kind of highly ranked in?
Well, I think the biggest thing for us is playing against, you know, top 10 teams, top 20 teams. I mean, you have to learn to play a patient game. You have to learn not to make mistakes that are going to end up in your net, or just totally get you off your game. I mean, we have to play with, and that's where maturity is important. And we still have, enough veterans that can relay that information to the younger guys, and not get into a panic mindset, is to just try to play a composed game, stay in control, stick to our game plan. Don't let them dictate how we're going to play. We got to play our game, and we can't play giddy up and go hockey with them, because we don't have the same offensive depth they have. But our team defense, our goaltending, I think those things balance us out. So we have to be opportunistic offensively, and we have to be patient offensively.
Hey, past this series, what are your plans after this series? What will the team be doing? Exams, and then...
Well, they have reading days and then exams, so they'll be shut down here for the next 3 weeks. And it's extremely important that they take care of their bodies and stay in shape, because when we get back here, I think we only have 4 days before we play Boston College. So I trust our guys will stay in good shape. They might eat a little bit more than they normally do, or have a few more calories here and there, but as long as they don't come back out of shape, or gaining 10 pounds, I mean, that's the biggest concern. And I have to be careful that doesn't happen to me too. So
well, when will they come back? When will you come back?
They'll be back on the night of the 26th.
26th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, this probably will speak again before the Michigan game, the outdoor game, but just I don't know if I've been here when you've kind of addressed that. So just kind of what were your initial thoughts on just kind of the opportunity to play an outdoor game, kind of get some fans that maybe have never experienced that, and also maybe something your players have never experienced.
Well, I mean, for us, it's going to be, I mean, we've played in a few outdoor games since I've been here, but this is at Notre Dame Stadium. So this one has a lot more meaning to it. It's the first time, actually, that Tuesday with the NHL game, and then our game will be the first time there's ever been any sporting event outside of football in that building. So it'll be the first collegiate sport of any sport outside of football in that building. And, you just think of the tradition and so much that goes on. And outdoor hockey is unique. I mean, I wouldn't say it's something I want to do every year, but for the fans, for our players, it's going to be a once in a lifetime type of an experience playing in that stadium and coming out of that tunnel. And I'm hoping that we'll get a decent crowd. I mean, it'll be tough probably to get 80,000 people, but I hope our football fans and I hope the local community backs it up, because it could be a fun event. And it'll be something that, just like the Garth Brooks concert in there, the Winter Classic in the stadium, those will be things that people will remember for a long, long time, because it's the first time. And so for us to play in that building is going to be a real thrill.
And playing against Michigan, I'm sure, kind of ratchets it.
That only magnifies it. There's been plenty of games between Notre Dame and Michigan in that building, and they've always been interesting. So I can imagine it'll be the same way in hockey.
Are you planning to have the guys see the Winter Classic at all? Or?
We're giving them that day off. We got to be careful to let them go too crazy, because that game's only like 3 days later. So, I wanted them to enjoy the experience of being able to go to the game, and tailgating maybe not, but they should be able to go watch the game. I'm hoping Anders Bjork is playing for the Bruins at that point, but it should be fun for us. I'm sure our guys will enjoy it as well.
Thanks, Coach.
Sure.
Thank you.
Hey.